Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're joining right now at this very early seconds of the stream and you're like, why is Gyro looking so pensive? It's because I'm setting up the stream software. I'm not a streamer. I'm just testing the waters here. I mean, I have streamed like years ago. It feels like years ago. And it's all a new PC. It's a new setup, brand new setup. So I'm not quite sure it will be working particularly well. Please be patient with me. If you're some of my subscribers, welcome back. If you are some of the passers-by, hi, how's it going? Which is going to level some monk in a few minutes as soon as I know that this actually has connected properly and it is working. My friends, at the moment I'm not convinced that it's working, but we will see. So it seems like we are live and broadcasting, but who knows? I'm just gonna say hello to everyone just over here. Hopefully it does work. Anyway, let's level a monk. And why are we leveling a monk, my friends? We are leveling a monk because I am trying to explore and go broad, as I say, before I go deep. I am not leveling one particular dedicated character through all the trials and tribulations to the very top. I pretty much never do that. It's just not fun for me because I'm not a pro YouTuber or whatever it is you want to call it. I'm a gamer first, and if you are as well, you are in the right place. Quite seriously, man. So I tried the Ranger, I tried the Witch. Obviously, Witch guide is continuing very slowly, but it is happening. And right now we are going to try a monk because it seems like Ice Strike Monk is where it's at. Yeah, and before we continue, again, apologies if the audio quality is not great. Apologies if the video quality is not great. Your feedback is what's gonna make it better though. So if this is of fun, I have time during the holiday season at the very least to check in like this and have a stream with you, my subscribers, my hopefully new subscribers. I respond to anyone who is not a troll, but I have only one monitor. It's not a pro setup. Again, enough apologies. Let's play some monk. So please leave the notes in the chat. Say hello. I will come back to you. As well as if you're watching this after the stream is over, hey man, that's how we normally release the videos anyway. So maybe some cut up version, some highlights of this stream will be released as well. So I'll keep talking to you as if you're here. I'll pretend that you're here and I will keep going and share with you my thoughts and impressions. As you can see, my monk is already a level 9. So it's because I've already done a little bit here, and I believe that probably the sound of the game is going to be overwhelming right now, so please don't panic. I'm going to reduce it right now so that you are not completely deafened by me talking to you, as well as the game blasting you with sound. So this is where I need your feedback. So tell me, is this all right? Is this a bit better or is it too quiet? So this is where you need to tell me if it's too quiet or not. I'm going to leave it at that for now, and then we're going to keep going. So we are now on the, basically we are in the cemetery of the Eternals, and it is where we killed Asenia, the consort to the Praetor Draven, and hopefully we're gonna kill Draven very, very shortly as well. I cannot see still the stream coming through. Apologies on the in the YouTube live streaming dashboard, which is a little bit annoying me right now, because I'm sure it's annoying for you because you're like waiting for passionately for this to start. And of course, if I'm going to publish this afterwards, I'm going to probably cut all of that off. But let's see how we go. Some friends over here, let's get rid of them. All right, so to me, at least in my headphones right now, the sound is still a bit too loud, so I'm gonna reduce that in a minute. Apologies again. It's gonna be better next time, man. It's gonna be better next time, wouldn't it? I'm sure it will. So let's reduce all of that a little bit. And if you are a more experienced streamer or whatever, please don't be shy. Tell me how to make it better. Don't expect magical improvements, especially from a non-pro person. It all happens with the assistance from the community, and community is everything. I love my community. I respond to anyone who is not a troll man, and I'm not taking myself too seriously, like I said already. In case you're new here, in case you're my subscriber, you would know that already. All right, we killed Asenia, and we are going to kill Draven. And while we are trying to kill Draven, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my first early impressions about the monk at level 9, 10. We are almost 10. Okay, first of all, Path of Exile, amazing game. Path of Exile 1, Path of Exile 2, amazing game. As I said already, I do believe that it's not for everyone. I believe that Path of Exile 2, while awesome, I still miss Path of Exile 1, and now that I started leveling Arc Witch in Path of Exile 1 again to kind of respond to a lot of you who wanted a build for Arc Witch, updated build in Path of Exile 1. Now that I returned to Path of Exile 1, while still playing Path of Exile 2, as you can see evidently here, I actually can see and feel just how much I missed it. There are so many more modern, awesome things in Path of Exile 2. Like enough said about that. Like a lot of people are praising it, and what new can I say to you? What new stuff can I say to you there? It's obviously great, but it's hard, and the enjoyment of Path of Exile 2 for me is about overcoming a challenge and exploring something new, such as the new classes, how they work, the builds, and all that. But at the same time, the fun in Path of Exile 1 is very different. Path of Exile 1, the fun is in feeling overpowered and feeling like you're slaughtering hordes of enemies relatively easily without too much effort, you know? If your build is right, of course. Here, it is on build and on skill. And like, if before the skill was like maybe 15% of importance and the build was like, you know, let's say 85% of importance, if we follow this example, then here it's the opposite. Here I'd say the skill is that 85-80% and the build is 20. I don't know, that's just my impression. Okay, with that being said, next point on the monk specifically is that I think that while the game is obviously awesome, and while grinding gear games have succeeded in their own right, you know, creating this game for us, releasing it for us, I think that, interestingly enough, I believe that it's kind of a failed design. Bear with me, it's a failed design of a class such as a monk if you cannot comfortably, even challenged, but comfortably enough, if you cannot play a class using its intended abilities. So, what I mean by that is, if you it can be unbalanced, it can be not strong enough, whatever, but this is something that I'd be fixing as grinding gear games as a first thing. But if the whole community, not just me, but the whole community, people with hundreds of thousands of views and subscribers, if they are saying that the best way, the only real way, not to pluck your hair out and not to, you know, do anything worse to yourself, the only way to level a monk early is to use ranger skills, if that's what people are saying to me, that you need to basically use lightning arrow and lightning rod, just like you level a ranger, and then it becomes bearable, which it is bearable, right? Then it's a fail. Don't you think? I think it's a fail, because I have to use abilities of a different class, which basically says to me that the abilities that are intended for monk as a class and are given to you first early on are rubbish. I'm sorry, like, they are rubbish. And that is a failed design to me. With that being said, everyone is saying that once you are level 14, which we're close to right now, probably won't be done on this stream, mainly not for the reasons of my time, but mainly for the reasons of me. Like I already said to you, I apologized for the quality of this stream. It's a first attempt to restart streaming and see if anyone even cares, okay? So I am going to see the quality of the recording of the whatever is being broadcast right now, and then I'm going to resume streaming probably a little bit later this afternoon, so you will see more streams, especially if there is any resemblance of positive reaction from you on this kind of stuff, okay? So once you're level 14 on a monk, you would be able to switch to monk intended, ice strike, and so on and so forth, the bell that they drop and all the other kind of stuff. I've done my research. I have an inspirational build that I'm following from a different, more successful, more pro content creator who is both more skilled as well as has more time for this kind of stuff. But in the meantime, that's the best we can do. We can pretend to be a slightly non-rangery ranger, and I don't have a good life flask equipped here. And a good life flask, my friends, would be the one that would be regenerating charges per second, regardless of how long the encounter is. And this is another example of where especially if you're not super experienced with Path of Exile 2, well, this is indicative, my friend. Because, look at this. Like, to kill one rare, I'm almost dead. I'm dead now. And I haven't even been doing too badly, but obviously the output of damage, the best I can do on a non-intended class, which is a monk in this case, is that. That's the best I can freaking do. Is that good? No, I don't think it's good at all, in fact. But it is what it is, unfortunately. So let's test this for 10 more minutes. Let's kill the Praetor Draven. That would be my intention. Comment through that, how it feels, how early monk feels. With a bow, it feels fine. With lightning arrow and lightning rod, it feels fine. But again, and this I guess is a risk of any stream being ranty, because the person just talks to the screen as if I'm talking to you, my friend, watching this, presumably. Yeah, I hope it gets drastically better after level 14. So my proof of concept of a build approach here is to not take it too seriously, follow the recommended path, use the whatever available skills there are right now, obviously ranger skills, and then see if it gets much more fun, much more like, oh yeah, now I know what you're talking about, when I reach level 14. That's what I'm hoping to get. Yeah. Let's see how it goes. Could be great, could be not so great, who knows. But definitely playing melee in this game, in Path of Exile 2, everyone says it's a lot more challenging than the ranged classes. Wouldn't surprise me one bit, but I want to see for myself how bad, how good it is. Let's get rid of these. These guys are annoying. You have to always roll to the side or behind if you're lucky, so that you're not hitting into the shield from the front, obviously. Through the shield, they deflect everything. It's freaking annoying. What is particularly annoying, especially for like a Path of Exile veteran, for normal Path of Exile 1 veteran, is that seemingly like no progression, like bare minimum of progression, like killing one random rare dude takes so much freaking effort. Like it's just seems to be, you know. Oh yeah, hey Parcival, how are you, my man? Thank you very much for saying hello. I was just talking about it, like I'm waiting for him to attack. I try to go to the side, then I try to hit him, right? So good on you for commenting. Thank you, my man. At least I know it's broadcasting something. I can't see the quality of the stream. I don't know the sound volume. Like, let me know if the volume is okay, man. We are going to proceed to Draven and then gonna see. I killed him obviously on my two other characters already. On this is not the first walkthrough, of course. It's the first walkthrough on this character. I killed him on my witch rather easily, and I killed him on my ranger with a slight more challenge, but was no problem. Let's see how well the monk does. Yeah, but like I was saying this whole time, I do think that when a company makes a really awesome game, yeah, no question, but you have to play a class using abilities of a different class until like level 14, which in this case, in Path of Exile 1, mate, it's an evening, maybe a couple of hours to get to that level. Here, to get to level 14, you have to push. You have to push because it's like, well, more challenging, right? I think it's a bit of a fail. A bit of a fail when they have done everything right, but then you gotta be pretending to be a ranger. Alright, level 10. Wow! That took us ages. Alrighty, let's keep going. So I am going to, my intention here is to go critical chance path. Yeah, here it's not like we had, well, we have a few choices, but I'm following, being inspired by Rax's build, and I'm going to first go up here to try and take these nodes, Echoing Frost, because by this time I hopefully will already have Ice Strike. So now we're level 10, this would be 11, this would be 12, this would be 13, this would be 14. So by the time we're here, we should have Ice Strike. That's when I'm planning to switch and become a real monk. That's at least my plan. And then we're going to build out this cluster before we're going to come back and build out this cluster to increase critical chance further. At least that is my plan. Again, if I still have any of my people watching, please let me know if you know any better, if it's the right way to go or if it's not really the right way to go. Who knows? Part of the fun is an exploration, you know. That's at least how I treat it. All right, one more thing, one more side stop that we're gonna do before we hit the boss here in this tomb. Actually, hang on a second. This is not a Tomb of the Consort, surely. Am I in the Tomb of the Consort again? Well, that's embarrassing. I thought that I'm in Tomb of the Draven. Am I again in Asinia's tomb? Because it says Tomb of the Consort. I just realized that I walked in while I was talking. I walked in into the wrong bloody tomb. Apologies. Let's get out of here. We'll go out via the waypoint. I was planning to kill Asinia, which I did, and then I was planning to go kill Draven, and then I started talking, and I must have walked off. That's what happens. That's bloody live streams for you. I feel like I'm ranting. There is some fun in it. There is some live effect in it. I'm not going to say there isn't any, but at the same time, it is a lot less prepared. It's a lot more raw. And for some people, it's cool. Some people like it. Some people find it a little awkward. I guess it's those like live streaming virgins like me. Like I'm not. I have done a few live streams in the past, but I always think that prepared material is always better. Like I feel a lot more prepared. All right, they all respawned. Oh, mate. All right, that's okay. We're gonna make it. So far, Monk feels slow and steady, comparable to a Ranger. Again, if we stop talking about how we're using borrowed skills basically on him, let's accept that as a fact. Alright, Mausoleum of the Praetor. Now this is the right place. That's where I want to be. Let's go in here. So in Mausoleum of the Praetor, in case for some reason you skipped that bit or just didn't know, there is obviously the boss. That's of the obvious interest, but there is also that little thing on the minimap that we can see right now that is called Forgotten Reaches. It's even actually mapped out. Interesting. I didn't know that they would map it out because I thought it's like a secret room. It's pretty cool because you can get quite a lot of gold, especially on the first character, like it's substantial, as well as potentially a couple of really nice drops. Alright, here is a switch. Let's click the switch. It opens, and with no effort, just like that, we can get all this lovely gold, which is fantastic, and a chance at something. Okay, nothing really good. Do I need amulet? Yeah, why not? 15 to dexterity is pretty good. And let's get this one as well. Okay, that was actually not a very lucky. Not a single yellow item, which kind of sucks. That's alright. We're gonna manage. We're gonna manage. Let's go. Hello, babies. Man, the amount of damage here. And like, you know, like if you think about, am I doing enough damage or could it be higher damage output? I guess if every slot of support gems was filled out right now, which I didn't because it's a temporary, it's a borrowed skill that I'm using, don't want to invest into it. But regardless, I wouldn't be pumping out that much more damage with some other skills. I'm going to show mine in a second. So because it's a borrowed skill kind of situation, I'm only going with basic lightning arrow, and I'm only going with basic lightning rod. Lightning arrow has PS currently at this low level. It's not like I have a ton of other options. And the lightning rod has scattershot. That's what I'm using. Fresh blood. Okay. Alright, dudes. For the post edit, for the best bits of this stream, if there is anything that can be classified as best bits in this stream, that is a very presumptuous. But if there are any, if I put out a video separately, then I'm absolutely going to also add some chapters to it. Don't worry about it. Chapters are gonna be added, my friends, for those of you who watch afterwards. Let's see. Content is content. Fun is fun. Why not share it in the moment? And talking to myself, my only problem is I ran out of coffee. I absolutely ran out of coffee. I started with coffee, and that's how it was intended. Casual chat to invisible friends who might be right there or might be visiting a little bit after, and I'm like, hey, here's a message for you, man. But coffee is almost out, which means that I'll need to take a break after I kill the Praetor, the Raven. Let's hope it's not going to be too embarrassing on this undergeared, underprepared monk. Draven I found, so out of these two Eternals, whatever the cemetery of Eternals, presuming that the Eternals talks about them, about Asenia and Draven, out of them two, on my other attempts, on my other characters that I killed them on, I carry few possessions. That's nice, isn't it? Out of them two, Draven is by far a lot more dangerous, I found. Asenia was, yeah, you have to watch your feet, you have to roll, and you have to run. But at the same time, Draven was a lot harder, in my opinion. Anyway. As always, I welcome yours. Okay. Can't wait for level 14 just to experience something new with that Ice Strike business that everyone is talking about. Apparently it's like, the sun will come up! That's how different it's supposed to be. Let's see. Let's see if it's in fact so game-changing. In Path of Exile 1, by the way, while we're here and have nothing better to do, let's talk about Path of Exile 1. Path of Exile 1, while obviously a much older game and somewhat dated, I can tell you, again, in my humble opinion, I've revisited just last night, starting to level my Arc Witch again, and I can tell you it still stands the test of time. I think it still is fine. It's not like cutting your eye when you look at it and you're like, oh, it's just sad and I'm here just for gameplay. No, I think it's fine. I think it's fine. So if you haven't played somehow, or if you haven't played for a while and think, oh, I forgot kind of how it is, but it probably is cringe, it's not so cringe. Alright, let's get rid of this annoying map on the screen, which I'm sure you thought about, but it's hard to navigate these things without a map. And let's fight this dude and try and not die too embarrassingly and too straight away. After all, I've killed him twice already. My main fear, is that I will not be able to replenish the charges in my life flask. And because everyone seems to be doing now all-out damage builds, like this is an all-out damage build, obviously, however early. Best defense is good offense. Is that what they say? I'm pretty sure that's what they say. Wherever you are, wherever you're from. There is a version of that saying, I'm sure. Come on, Draven, don't be so presumptuous that my life is meaningless. Your life is meaningless. Yeah, he talks about Eternals. It must be him and Asenia. Or something. We're actually doing okay. We're actually doing surprisingly okay. I thought somehow, because it's a monk and like I said, I'm using borrowed skills, I somehow expected to do, I don't know, less damage, do worse. This is relatively easy so far. Relatively is a keyword, hello. Okay. Let's not make stupid mistakes now, and we're fine. Roll. Okay. Well, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I've killed him before, like I said. It's not like I expected anything terrible. In fact, I actually think that if you know what happens next, and I'm sorry if it's a spoiler for you, but what happens next is I will have to fight the guy who sent me here. Okay? Not that surprising, essentially. So, in my opinion, that guy is a lot more dangerous than Draven. That's what I think. Anyway. Alright, let's get rid of these items. I'm trying to reshuffle here a little bit so that I can take that bow. And why do I want to take that bow? Is because it has two slots in it, two gem slots in it. I can either turn it into a bow and plug something into it, or I can actually salvage it and get the fragments that are required for to make an artificer's orb. Artificers? I don't know how to pronounce it. Let's try. Let's go. I guess we will extend a little bit this ranty live stream a little bit longer to deal with the guy who sent us here, which is gonna be harder. Again, I could be wrong because this was easier than I remember. I don't know. What does it mean? Does it mean that actually the does it mean that Monk is doing better than Ranger at this level? I don't know. Shouldn't be, right? We are like a... yeah, I know. Hello, my dude. Lachlan the Lost. Alright. At last, it's over, my friends. No, my God. Sorry, just got excited for Lachlan a little bit. Alright, this is gonna be the crown jewel of this initial test live stream. Let's see if you're watching it live still, my friends, or if you are watching it afterwards and somehow you're up to this late moment in the thing. First of all, you're special. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Second of all, tell me, what can I improve in this thing? Do you want me to increase the volume of the sound, decrease the volume of the sound? Like, only you can tell me what's good and what's not so good, what can be improved. And all we can do is just, you know, decide, is it reasonable to ask to improve? Is it worth my while? Is it not worth my while? Like, you can only suggest, and I can only realistically try to give it an honest thought and try and accommodate. Yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do. Alright, Lachlan, how are you going, man? See, similar to Draven, but I'd say a little harder because, like, he freezes as well. But doing okay, given my poor man's setup. Okay, see, that's where it's harder, I think. At least Draven wasn't slowing me down, man. What? What's going on now? Uh-oh, that was not good. And I'm out of charges, which sucks. Let's see. And all of this is frozen. That's it, dead. Somewhat embarrassing, but I guess that's what happens live. Alright, let's try again. We will do better. No, I'm not wrapping this up until this guy is down. I'm not wrapping this up. I know I said that I will, but come on, man. You would do the same. Lachlan is suffering and we need to end this. Need to probably cover myself with this statue a bit more, because I think a lot of his hits are being not negated, but... oh, Jesus. What? Okay, that was unnecessary. Let's try again. What we have is the luxury of time, at least today. Otherwise I certainly wouldn't be testing a live stream, would I? Run, run, run. Let's see if it does any... Yeah, it does. That's better. I think that's better. That angle works better. Run. Okay, that was a bit unnecessary. My God, it's like seriously, man. It's like playing bloody Dark Souls and the, you know, I don't know, like Elden Ring or something, right? I mean, everyone is saying it. I said it myself, but these moments, man, they just remind me of that. And apparently, amazing games, massive communities. Like, I get it, I do. But what made them like? Why not just? I don't understand. Why didn't they just like continue on? I'm not saying remade Path of Exile, but like, why make it a completely an entirely different game? Like, why, dude? Sorry, Lachlan. Sorry, dude. All right, here we are. Doable. Relatively easy if you don't make stupid mistakes like I did. But it is what it is, my friends. So I'd like to first of all thank everyone who either popped in right now very quietly and watched a little bit from the sidelines. Thank you very much for being there. I really appreciate it. It was nothing to write home about this little stream. Again, it was a test. So surely from Mr. Parzival, who said something to me, I can tell that something broadcast out there into the public, which is great to see. I think we're gonna revisit. I'm not saying on stream necessarily, but based on your impressions, of course, I'm open to that option. But I certainly am going to keep pushing at least to level 14 on this monk. See what happens on at level 14. Is Ice Strike going to make it a lot more monkey, which is great. I would love that. And then just see what happens. So, but stay tuned. The witch is not forgotten. The witch is just stuck, in all honesty, on one of the bosses close to level 30. And I tried many times to pass that boss. It just frustrates me, and it kind of kills the gaming fun for me. And I'm a gamer first, as I said, and all that other stuff, clickbaity stuff that others do second, only selling you good news. So I am simply trying to deviate and trying to explore something that potentially has more fun. You know, that's at least my approach. Welcome your thoughts on this. So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to stop the live stream now, and I'm going to talk to you next time, very soon. It's holidays. I